quarters, it allowed us those few weeks in December that most other schools don't get. So that was nice. We were able to, I think, catch up a little bit by then. So
Discuss kind of like the. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. You're fine.
What were you going to say about just the welcome process and how you're introducing yourself to the team and kind of getting your how you want to run this program down?
Well, we wanted to hit the ground running. So I remember, I think I told my previous administration on Thursday and told the team on Friday. On Saturday, I rented the vehicle. On Sunday, we started driving down. And by Tuesday morning, I was doing a workout in the morning with the team here. So they knew we were pretty serious about it. In fact, the night we cruised in, we actually had a team meeting at about 8 o'clock that night. So the goal was to hit the ground running and go fast, let them know how serious we were, and our job's to get this program back into the elite that it once was. And, it's not going to happen overnight, but we wanted the girls to understand that the job of this year's team is to basically establish the culture and then let that culture grow from this point forward for preceding recruiting classes to come in and know how we work, how we do things, and what is the Louisiana Tech way.
How much does it help you having been in this area? I mean, you know the history of the program, but having coached over at Centenary, you happy to be back in Louisiana, a little more familiarity with you?
Well, absolutely, and I wasn't gone long enough to lose all the contacts, right? I mean, and if this same type job had been in Virginia or wherever, I don't think I would have been interested. But in knowing the history, knowing what Louisiana Tech had been in the past, knowing the talent that was in the geographical area. Knowing the situation that we have with Tops and the talent that's in the Texas area, I knew we could create a winner here, and we can do it relatively fast. So I think all that knowledge that I gained while at Centenary is what at least allowed me to see the real positive attributes of this program.
And then, got a couple pictures back, Michelle Jones specifically. Is that where the process starts with this team? Is that where you start?
In our game, it always starts with pitching, right? So, it's nice having the senior pitchers who have been there and done that. They're not intimidated. They've played against multiple top 20 teams, teams that have been to the World Series like Fresno, like Hawaii, like others. So, they're not afraid of anybody. They're going to go out and compete. And that takes time to develop. I mean, that was one of our biggest challenges when I was at Centenary, was getting that team to expect to play at that level. This team expects to play at that level. We just have to introduce some new concepts and some team concepts that are going to allow them to compete at a higher level.
What do you see as your foremost challenge coming in right off?
I would have told you, if you'd have asked me before I got here, I would have told you that it would have been getting the girls to work hard and understand that new level. But they've taken to that exceptionally well. We came in and said, this is the way we're going to do it. We're going to practice 2.5, 3 hours, and we're going to go full speed. And you're not going to get multiple days off. And if it rains, we're going to have team meetings. We're going to have all kinds of training programs set up. And this group has just absolutely thrived in that atmosphere. So our next challenge that lies ahead is just continuing to build, to constantly get better. Right now, that's with individual skill sets on the team that we have, and then eventually that'll be recruiting new players to come in and take over.
You've got the right side of the infield, pretty experienced. You talked about mixing in some new players on the left side with some injuries and things like that, especially to Melanie. What's the most immediate need in practice as you go up to the season in that regard?
Well, really there's kind of beyond individual player skills, there are some team concepts that we are having to learn. And that it's not okay, everybody's got to be on the same page. The batter has to know what the runner's going to do. The runner has to know what the batter's going to do. We have to understand, if we've hit 3 pop-ups in a row, it's not okay to hit a 4th one. We've got to find a way to do something different. And so those are some of the concepts that I think they're starting to grasp, but it's going to take playing other teams and having some of those that we haven't even thought about teaching them yet happen, so that we can then correct that and be as ready as we can be, at least by the end of the season.
Lastly, what are your goals, you think, for this season overall, and, just for a first year? I know, obviously, every coach wants to win every game, but what would you say, what would you be satisfied with if you guys finish with, since you're picked in the middle of the pack, what would you be satisfied with?
I won't be satisfied with anything less than winning the WAC. And I think any coach that's not, that is satisfied with that is not, you can say they're being realistic. I don't see why we're not striving for that every year. And we're going to have difficulties and challenges along the way, but that's our goal. Our goal is to win the WAC, and I understand where we're picked, and I think polls are fine, but the truth was where we're going to stand at the end of the year. And we've got to work hard in these preseason games to get the kids to understand what they need to do correctly, and then begin to implement those things in a correct fashion later on in the year, so that when we're playing those conference series, that we're finding ways to win those games.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, Mark.
Great.